Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Digital Asset Sensei, once again, also known as the Pin Decker, coming back to you once again to show you how to get this money, to show you how to build your own financial empire, to show you how to be your own bank, your own hedge fund, as well as your own international monetary exchange. And in order to do that, you're going to have to educate yourself just a little bit. Okay, there are certain things that you need to understand in order to get the money. And the best part about it is that you don't have to chase the money. You simply position yourself and the money will come to you. You see, if you want to get drenched by the rivers of liquidity, you don't run alongside of it and chase it as it rushes down. You stand at the juncture where it comes down, where the waterfall is. And if you stand in the right position, then you are drenched in liquidity. So, stay liquid, my friends. Now, it's important for you guys to understand before we get underway that I am not trying to convince you of anything. I'm also not trying to sell you anything. Okay? So, all of you that are sitting back with your arms folded with the impress me attitude, you can just forget about that, because I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to sell you a new vacuum cleaner or any of those things. I'm simply here to show you my discoveries on how I get this money, how I have becoming my own bank, and I am building my own financial empire brick by brick. Okay? So do yourself a favor, and all your preconceived ideas and notions and opinions, throw those out the window for a minute. You know, you can leave them at the door. You can pick them up when you leave. Okay, but if you really want to understand how to get this money, okay, this is the place for you. Now, there's a lot of things going on, and one of the things that you must do is, the first thing you must do is you must transition your mind. You can have all the money in the world, but as the old saying goes, a fool and his money are soon parted. I can give you $5 million, and I guarantee you that 99% of you will be broke in less than 3 years. Possibly even a year. Okay? Because money is weight. Money is responsibility. And just as you can't go in the gym on the first day and bench press 400 pounds, you got to work your way up to that. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to exercise. This is why people that go on the exercise spree, they get in the gym and they work out for 2 hours, they're sore the next day and they never return. Okay? So the money is the same way. It is responsibility. But first, you must transition your mind. Because if some of you are not, some of you are already wealthy. So this is not for you if you're already wealthy. But for those of you who are not already financially independent, and that's most of us, the first thing is the mindset. You must transition your mind from being a consumer to being that of a wealthy person. Which means, as a consumer, everything you get in goes back out. This is why we're locked into perpetual poverty. By the time you pay the rent, by the time you put food on the table, by the time you pay for internet, by the time you pay the car note, by the time you go to the movies, by the time you buy those new sneakers, by the time you take your daughter to the doctor, by the time you do all the things that you got to do that your budget demands, you'll be lucky if you have enough to get Chinese takeout. So what must we do? We must utilize the principle of compound interest. That means making money while you are asleep. That means we must build a treasury, ladies and gentlemen. We build a treasury, and we constantly build on that treasury, and we keep capital to put into multiple income streams, and we compound at least 5 times a week, and we take profit once or twice a week. And those profits that we take can pay for our lifestyles. Like the wealthy. The wealthy do not pay their bills, ladies and gentlemen. The dividends from the multiplication of their capital pays their bills. So they're always dealing with fresh money. And they make money while they sleep. You see? Because you have to make money every second of every minute of every hour of every day, ladies and gentlemen. Understand the K-shaped economy. Depreciating asset, appreciating asset. Depreciating asset, appreciating asset. Do you understand my drift? Because you simply cannot outrun inflation. No one can. Even if you have a few $1,000,000, you can't outrun inflation. You must find a way to multiply your money even while you're sleeping, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we are here to learn how to do. So before we get underway, ladies and gentlemen, understand that you're going to need a couple of tools. And one of those tools that I like to use is this right here. It's called CAPE. And with CAPE, that's going to keep you from getting SIM swapped, ladies and gentlemen. SIM swapping is a big problem. And if you get attacked, it's going to be an even bigger problem, because you will literally have to sit there and watch yourself get robbed as somebody takes over your complete identity, as they take over your bank account, as they take over your crypto accounts, after they take over your email, as they get into your phone and they start to change all of your passwords. And it is very bad, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be no one to call. You can't even call Ghostbusters. All right? So understand that. So if you want to get down with CAPE, okay, that does not keep any information on you whatsoever. I use this service. Everything that I talk about, I be living proof. Okay? So I use this service. The service does not know my name. It does not know my address. It does not know my social security number. Okay? It doesn't even know my favorite color. All right? So, I mean, you guys know my favorite color. And of course, it is the one that is the absence of color, which is black, because it contains all colors. I know you guys get that. But anyway, the first thing you must do when you're going on this pilgrimage, ladies and gentlemen, into becoming your own bank is, of course, you have to get a wallet to receive your assets that you move, or what we like to say, off-ramp from fiat and into the cryptoverse. Okay? So you're going to need things like Uphold. You're going to need things like MEXC. You're going to need KRAKEN. This is what I use. There are others, but this is what I use. Okay? If you want to get some tokenized gold, you got Kinesis Money sitting there. I like Kinesis Money because not only is it tokenized gold and silver and a decent crypto platform for holding my assets, custodying my assets with them, but I also receive a yield on my tokenized gold and silver. I also receive a financial advisor, and my gold and silver is physically redeemable. That's right. I can call them and say, hey, send me $10,000 of gold and $5,000 worth of physical silver to my house, and they will do so. Okay? I've been with Kinesis Money pretty much since I've been into crypto, period, for about maybe 3 to 4 years now. You know what I'm saying? About a year or two after I entered crypto. I've been here a little over 5 years in terms of blockchain technology, but I've been in technology all my life, you know, as a former computer tech, and I've done a bunch of things: videographing, animation, you know, embroidery, graphic design. You know, I've always been in technology. So this are all my referral link for all of these things will be down in the description below, and it benefits both of us if you use my referral link. And also, on top of that, it gives you safe passage through the crypto space, so you know you're not, if you go and search for it yourself, there's a small chance that you may be clicking on a phishing site and you may get fish hacked or scammed, and you may actually feed a fisher or a hacker or a scammer your information. So just to make sure that you're sure, use my referral links, and on top of that, it'll be a little monetary value in it for you as well, depending on which protocol you use. So one hand washes the other. Okay? Now, understanding the K-shaped economy simply talks about fiat being a depreciating asset, and cryptocurrency and or Bitcoin being an appreciating asset. And the reason why I say and or is because Bitcoin is not crypto. Okay? So if you're a Bitcoiner, an actual Bitcoiner, then you know that you don't have to worry about quantum computers breaking Bitcoin because there's no cryptography to break. The only place cryptography takes place concerning Bitcoin is in the mining of Bitcoin. There is no crypto in a Bitcoin itself. But first of all, you have to make sure that you actually have Bitcoin. And in order to understand that, you need to read this article right here. That's BTC, not Bitcoin. So if you think BTC is Bitcoin, then you got a lot to learn, especially you Bitcoin maxis. But I'm not here to discuss that today. I'm here to discuss what's going on with earning yield. How can we become better or use more sophisticated protocols in order to, optimize, that's the word I'm looking for, in order to optimize our liquidity providing aspects. Now notice what I'm saying to you, like you guys really need to understand the mindset that you need to be in order to be your own bank. If you are your own bank, that means you are not gambling. I'm gonna say that again. If you're your own bank, that means you are not gambling. And by that I mean, people that have a trader mentality. There's nothing wrong with trading. I do it from time to time myself. But the thing about trading is it's essentially gambling. Most traders get wrecked 70% of the time. I'm not saying there's no money in it. Sure, there's plenty of money in it. But it's not something that you can take stock in to the point of compound interest. You see? There's no compound interest when you're trading because what they do is they buy low and they sell high. That is not earning. That is not investing. That is simply taking advantage of price appreciation. You see? And when you don't believe in something and you're waiting to sell it, you're essentially saying that you don't believe in that thing because you're just going to dump it, like a one-night stand. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't believe in something, that means you have no loyalty to it. And if you have no loyalty to it, that means you don't care about it. And if you don't care about it, then, as the old song says, you've lost that love and feeling. You see, you need to be an investor with things that you care about, okay? So that when you hold your Bitcoin close, you see what I'm saying? Something you care about, something that you say, I'm never going to sell. When you hold your Ethereum because you know it's going to go up in value, you say, I'm not going to sell because I don't need to sell, because if I need some money or I simply want to improve my position, I'll simply take a collateralized loan and I'll, over collateralize by 2, 3, 4, 500% depending on the volatility. And there you have it. Okay? So we are here to talk today about how to be your own bank. And I'm going to get underway with this. And we are first going to talk about a coin that all of the big dogs are getting behind. And it's called OUSD. OUSD is backed by the biggest of dogs. And when I say the biggest of dogs, of course, we're talking about BlackRock. We're talking about Goldman Sachs. We're talking about all of the biggest of dogs that are backing this yield-bearing stablecoin, which means it earns yield while it's in your wallet. And it earns even more if you choose to stake it and or get into the governance aspect. Origin Dollar is a yield-bearing stablecoin that earns while it's still in your wallet. OUSD is 100% backed by USDC with the collateral deployed into DeFi protocols, including Morpho and Curve. To generate yield, the protocol automatically moves capital across strategies to optimize returns for holders. Yield is distributed to OUSD holders automatically via daily rebates built by the team at Origin Protocol, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's go take a look at that. Because if we take a look at this is Origin Protocol right here, ladies and gentlemen. So you're getting 5.8% at this point in time. This will probably go lower very soon because the more people that pile in here, the more the APY is going to go down. But it's still awesome because there's a lot of people that don't want you to make any money, when it comes to these big institutions. That's what the Clarity Act is all about, But never mind, because most of that is a fight for centralized finance, not decentralized finance. So if you look here, it's growing in Ethereum. You have a high yield, low risk DeFi strategy. Fully transparent to the Ethereum blockchain. You can view the docs, the analytics, security first. You can review the audits, all of that stuff. You can see the TVL. Now the staking APY is 11.55%. And it can go lower. Let's say you only wanted to stake for 6 months. Then your APY will probably be half of that. Okay, because it's all based upon how long you lock up that liquidity. But you don't have to lock up that liquidity. Just holding it in your wallet, you're going to get 5.8% with the freedom to utilize it and move it and swap it or do whatever you want with it, and having that flexibility. But if you choose to lock it up, you can. Okay? And that's what's going on with Origin Protocol, ladies and gentlemen. And if we look at this hamburger menu, it's going to show you some more things here. It'll show you the team, the DeFi integrations. Let's look at the DeFi integrations. Look at all of the partnerships they have. Pendle, Morpho, Compound, Curve, Eigenlayer, Euler. Yes, that is pronounced Euler, not Euler, ladies and gentlemen. I actually have to go through physical effort not to say Euler, but it's pronounced Euler, trust me. I'm not going to explain. But Lava, Morpho again, all of this stuff. So you see, it is backed by some serious liquidity. But what we are here to talk about today is we are here to talk about a protocol that reminds me of something I used to use back in the day called Beefy, where it was pretty much a set it and forget it liquidity vault. And the creator of this protocol, my man Yabanks, also known as Alex, he's I would consider him a DeFi friend. He's also a wonderful human being. He's the type of guy that goes and saves animals and stuff, and got all of these animals on his land and stuff like that. And yeah, so he's a wonderful human being, and I really dig the guy, you know what I'm saying? But he came up with this protocol called SNUGGLE, ladies and gentlemen. And what it does, I'm not going to do a deep dive now. I'm going to do a deep dive later. I've already taken up enough time. But what I just wanted to do is I just wanted to present it to you. And right now it's only for the base chain and Arbitrum. And I'm pretty sure later on they'll add other stuff like my favorite, Hyperliquid. Yeah. So, Hyperliquid is my thing. That's like my number one play. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Even Canton Network comes second to Hyperliquid. And that's saying a whole lot. Anyway, this is basically your LP dream come true right here. Because Yabonk's using what he likes to call snuggle technology, rebalances, and you can even opt in to have it compound your position so that it constantly grows and grows and grows. 50% will go compound back into your position, thus expanding your position, and 50% will be immediately injected into the wallet that is connected to your account, ladies and gentlemen. So earn yield on your crypto while you sleep. That's my whole point, ladies and gentlemen. You must earn money while you sleep, or you will work yourself into the grave. Also, you can stop trading your time for money. That's the whole point of becoming your own bank, so that you don't have to trade your time for money, so that you can have the power of choice returned to you, ladies and gentlemen. Earn money while you sleep. Deposit your Bitcoin, ETH, stable coins, whatever in here. I'm not going to do it today. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. The next video, I will give you a comprehensive deep dive video, even if you understand liquidity providing, even if you understand all 4 versions of liquidity providing, because the first version of liquidity providing is staking. The second one is utilizing two or more. I've seen as many as 5 coins placed into a liquidity position. Okay. The third, of course, is concentrated liquidity, which is simply the same thing, but it's concentrated. It's dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it can go out of range. And then the fourth version, of course, is liquid staking derivatives. All right. And I know I shouldn't say derivatives, liquid staking tokens, because everybody gets weird when you say derivatives. People just, I don't know, for some reason that word just completely confuses people. But it's audited, you know, 42 to 178% returns in the worst conditions. You know, this is a set it and forget it, ladies and gentlemen. And real results from real users. And I bear witness to everything these guys are saying. And there's one guy here. Yeah, this guy here, he says, I've known your bonks from way before Seifu. I was in Seifu. I remember that. And I've known your bonks also way back in the Seifu days. So if anybody, give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you remember Seifu. All right. What I've tested here, this is simply insane. Well done, your bonks. So everybody's giving him big props. I've even seen DeFi legends do videos on this, like Dow King, you know. So I was happy to see Dow King still doing this thing. And this shows you how it works, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But why people choose Snuggle. And I'm going to put my referral link and join my team on getting this money, ladies and gentlemen. Join my team. My link for Snuggle will be down in the description below. All you got to do is click on that, you know, and once you click on that, it's going to take you to the website. Now, once you get to the website, what you might want to do, especially if you don't want to use it on your laptop, what you might want to do is you might want to go and take that URL of my referral link, go into your Gmail, send it to yourself, then get on your laptop, find that email that you sent to yourself, grab that URL, or click on that URL while you're in your email, and it'll take you to the website, and you can use it on your laptop, okay? And then you will get credit for being on my team, and there are certain perks for that, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but I will show you what the benefit of that, like we both benefit, like one hand wash the other, you know. It's what you call a win-win situation, ladies and gentlemen. Now you got the auto compound feature in here. You don't have to place it on. You could just let it accumulate and extract, but you can have a 50-50 where 50% of your rewards go into your wallet, 50% goes into compounding or expanding your principal economic weight that you're dealing with. Okay, so in other words, like I just put some money in here. So if you put $1,000 in, and eventually it's going to be 1,100, 1,200, and so on and so forth. It's just going to grow. And as you can see, you earn 3% on your referral earnings. Share your referral link with your friends. Earn while you snuggle. You can get 3% on their trading fees forever if it comes from Snuggle Share, not theirs. Get your link, share it, earn forever. And so that's not just for me, ladies and gentlemen. So after you guys join my team, then you can share your link with your friends or the people that's, you know, crypto bros that you know, and they can come in here and they could be earning like crazy, you know, doing set it and forget it, you know, LP strategies on some of the best LPs, you know, aggregated, because that's essentially what Snuggle is. It's a yield aggregator, just like VFAT is, okay? I'm doing most of my Hyperliquid over on VFAT, you know what I'm saying, which is a yield aggregator, and I can route that liquidity through Project X. I can route it through this one, that one, you know, I can go on the base chain, you know, do that. So that's essentially what this is. This is a yield aggregator that is utilizing 3 different protocols, 3 different DEXs, I should say: PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and Aerodrome. All right. But yeah, so start earning now. And this is just some examples, you know what I'm saying, of what's available in here. You know, so your favorite coins, go in here, provide liquidity, and make money while you sleep. Expand your position. And this is the easy first step to you becoming your own bank, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, I'm going to leave you as I found you. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to go on and get this crypto, ladies and gentlemen, because remember, your first million is not far away. All you got to do is reach out and grab it, because when it comes to the blockchain, no one, absolutely no one, can stop you in decentralized finance. All right, and that is the great thing of why you should have some authentic Bitcoin, which is in the form, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see in the center of my screen, in the form of BSV, with the Genesis block intact, with the chain of signatures intact, operating on Terranode technology. And if you don't understand those terms, like I said, simply read this article. That's BTC, not Bitcoin.com, and it will explain everything. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on and continue to go ahead and get this crypto.